I started my first company when I was 22 years old. I remember, like getting out of school, out of college, and really thinking to myself, like, what do I want to do? And I remember I was the director of marketing for an apartment complex, for a developer at an apartment complex. And I saw all these guys come in. They were driving like really nice cars and they had big trucks. And I remember going to a couple of these guys and really asking them, like, how did you get to that place? How did you get to a place where you could have that nice of a car and a big truck? And I remember these guys saying that they were in the construction world. We had a large hailstorm that went through the St. Louis area, and these guys had come in to work this storm, and they had essentially chased storms all across the United States, and they were just making a lot of money. So I was intrigued, and I remember one weekend going out with one of these guys and working over the weekend. And I remember asking one of the guys, like, hey, so from the amount of time that I've spent in this, what does this equate to in the world of dollars and cents? And I remember him saying, you basically made somewhere in the neighborhood of $10,000 to $14,000 within 2 weeks of doing that and quitting a job where I was making about $50,000 a year, full benefits, the whole 9 yards. Because I always knew inside of me, I was geared to be an entrepreneur. I just wasn't sure what stepping stone was going to be necessary, required to get there. I remember I was 22 years old when that happened, and had my own contracting company for a few years, went through a lot of trial, a lot of error, a lot of adversity. Being so young, I really just didn't understand it. Like, I was really in this place where I wanted to keep producing work, to produce more money, to produce more stuff, to produce more things. We made a lot of money in that space, and we started building a nice house, a large house. We started driving nice cars, we started having nice stuff. And around that same time, when I got married, we started to develop this lifestyle that just, like, I could tell at a very young age was gonna take a lot of money to really move forward. And so everything from that point in 2004, 2005 became about money production. And then 2009, all of it just kind of came to a head. I began to feel myself go into what I didn't know at the time that I know now is a pretty serious depression. We started having financial issues. We started having relationship issues. My wife and I were very detached, and we almost got divorced. And I ended up taking the company that we had in 2009, where we were working in Texas, and basically driving the company into the ground. And I had issues with alcohol. I had many issues with sedation and all the different things that you can possibly imagine. At the time, I felt like they were happening to me, but from years of really sorting it all out, I realized that what I had done was really just almost angled everything to self-sabotage, because I just wanted the money. Like, I just really wanted to make more money, to kind of build up this lifestyle that I didn't really understand why I even wanted it. It just felt like if you were going to be an entrepreneur, this was the second part that goes into it. And so I began unconsciously, self-consciously tearing it all down. But I think a lot of times people fall to the trap of, we forget why we started. We forget the fact that as an entrepreneur, we have the capacity and the ability to really build something of purposeful fulfillment. We have the ability and the capacity to build something of like purpose that can impact others and can shape our lives. And then as a byproduct, we get the money and all the things that come with it. But it's a byproduct of all of that. It's not the front side of it. And so the main focus and the main purpose of what I do today and what this organization stands for today is working with entrepreneurs and really, really getting them clear about what it takes to build a purposeful business, a business that not only impacts you deeply and fulfills you deeply, but impacts other people and fulfills them deeply. It doesn't really matter what phase of life that you're in. One of the greatest lessons that I've learned is you just cannot afford to water down who you are. You just can't afford to be less of who you are. You weren't put on this planet to be a shell that earns a paycheck inside of a place of suffering because you're afraid to unleash all of who you are. It's time. It's time to let go. It's time to let it out. It's time to stop working for the paycheck. It's time to stop being the entrepreneur that is trapped inside of their business. And all the lessons and all the pain and all the things that I've been through in my life, all the things that I've done to myself in my life have led me to this path to shake people up and get them free to where they no longer live as a shell of themselves and they lean into who they truly are.